Welcome to Hood Politics. In this episode, I will be discussing the case of Michael Jace. The facts of the case are as follows. Michael Andrew Jace is a very accomplished actor. He managed to keep consistent work in an industry where most struggle for gigs. Michael had dreams of becoming the next Sidney Poitier or Denzel Washington, and although he never reached that level, in 2014, he received the notoriety he desperately craved. But unfortunately, it came in the form of infamy. Michael's acting career began in 1992 when he played the role of a man named Otis Cook in an episode of Law & Order.
Yeah, I heard the explosion. I saw the bastard pull his gun.
You're referring to the defendant?
Yeah. I was almost face to face with him.
So you're positive it was Mr. Coblin who shot Marcus Tate?
I was 2-3 yards away. Yeah. I saw him.
From there, he was bitten by the acting bug and felt that it was his purpose in life. Michael continued going on auditions and booking roles. In 1994, he landed roles on LA Law, The Adventures of Briscoe County, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, Clear and Present Danger, Chicago Hope, and the hit film Forrest Gump, where he played the role of a Black Panther Party member.
Because we, the Black Panthers, are against the war in Vietnam. Yes, we are against any war where black soldiers are sent to the front line to die for a country that hates them.
In 1995, Michael landed roles in Under Suspicion, Strange Days, and Under One Roof, where he played the role of a police officer named Roger.
Hey, Neb, I thought you were working tonight.
Yeah, I am. I just got to drop this off at the cleaners.
Repeat tomorrow night, right, Neb? The Red Devil's gonna triumph again.
Not bowling 105, you won't. Neb can't help you. He won't be there tomorrow night, right, Neb?
Yeah, doesn't look like it. Yeah. Roger,
Yeah.
be careful out there.
I will. I'm off duty for the night.
That's what I mean.
Also in 1995, Michael played the role of boxer Mitch Green in the Mike Tyson biopic, Tyson.
Oh, what is it? Bitch Green. Look at this motherfucker.
Oh, you ain't getting tired of being pussy whipped, motherfucker? Yeah. Your old lady's old lady?
Double pussy whoop.
There you go. Now y'all some pitiful po-ass motherfucker.
What, you want me to whip that ass again?
Fuck that! You didn't beat me, motherfucker. Anybody seen the TV knows that.
They know I knocked the Jerry curl juice out your head, motherfucker.
Oh, I give you that, motherfucker. Tell me where Robin's at, huh? I'll tell you where she's at. She's at my house, butt naked, making grits.
During this time, Michael married his girlfriend, Jennifer Bitterman, and shortly afterwards, the couple had a son named Jordan. Michael was ecstatic. He had a great family, a budding career, and the roles were pouring in. In 1996, Michael landed roles in The Fan, Dangerous Minds the TV show, an unreleased video game called Maximum Surge, and Nash Bridges, where he played the role of Commander Williams, a police officer dealing with the hostage situation after a train was taken over.
Maintain post. We'll give the cops inside a little longer to make a play.
This is train 324. I need to talk to somebody in command there.
This is Commander William of Barth Police. Identify yourself, please.
This is Bridges, SFPD. In case you haven't already guessed, people are being held hostage down here.
That same year, he played the role of a boxer named Marvin Shabazz in the movie The Great White Hype.
I am the #1 contender. I'm tired of James the Poodle, Grim Reaper, whatever he wanted to call himself, ducking me. All right, I'm tired of man driving around town in 8 Rolls Royces. He ain't fought nobody. I'm still in a broham.
Exactly.
During this time, Michael and Jennifer's marriage was on the rocks, and in 1997, Jennifer filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. Over the next few years, a nasty court battle for custody of Jordan took place. Although his personal life was in shambles, Michael's professional life was thriving. In 1997 and in 1998, Michael landed roles in Boogie Nights, ER, Bombshell, Pensacola, Arliss, and Kings. In 1999, he landed roles in Thick as Thieves, LA Doctors, Any Day Now, and Ryan Caulfield, Year One. That same year, Michael landed his first starring role as NBA legend Michael Jordan in the biopic Michael Jordan, an American Hero.
I don't remember the exact amounts, but what he's claiming is preposterous. But we're both avid golfers with handicaps between like 5 and 7. We like to put money on our putts.
Esquina says that at one point you were down $626,000.
And you suggested a double or nothing bet.
Ma, he's calling this book Michael and Me, Our Gambling Addiction, My Cry for Help. I mean, it's even self-published. Obviously, no reputable publisher would touch it. I mean, he's just trying to capitalize on our friendship.
In the year 2000, Michael played the role of Earl Wilkinson in the film The Replacements.
Wilkinson. Earl Wilkinson. Well, I knew I recognized you, man. I knew it. You played for Minnesota, baby. Oh, shit. Earl Wilkinson, man. Oh, my God, boy. You'd have been all pro if you hadn't been at them cops and going to jail.
During this time, Michael began dating a woman named April. The two met on the set of one of his projects and they instantly hit it off.
Are you filming me?
Yes, I am.
Hello. It's 7:30. Please excuse all this. I've been up all night.
April was a school teacher and held a degree in early childhood and adolescent development from Cal State Fullerton. She was also an avid sprinter, and her speed took her to the peaks of national and international competitions. Just like Michael, April had a son from a previous relationship named Savoy. April accepted Jordan as her own, and Michael accepted Savoy as his own. In 2001 and then 2002, Michael landed roles in NYPD Blue, Murder, She Wrote, Planet of the Apes, Scorcher, and Judging Amy. Also in 2002, Michael landed his most well-known role as Officer Julian Lowe on the hit TV show The Shield. The show follows a group of LAPD officers known as the Strike Team. They are corrupt and are known for using illegal methods to solve cases. Julian was a good officer and a devout Christian, but throughout the show, he begins to wrestle with his morals as well as his sexuality.
I told you, I'm not changing my statement.
I'm willing to keep your secret.
Sure you are.
I am. What do you think, I want to twist your arm? All you gotta do is...
Lie?
It's not a lie. You made a mistake. We put boxes of ammo in that bag, not bricks of coke.
I know what ammo looks like, and I know what blackmail looks like, too.
The Shield ran for 7 seasons and won numerous awards. Although he was now a main character on the hit show, Michael continued booking other roles. In 2003, he landed roles in Jonah and Cradle to the Grave. Also in 2003, Michael and April got married. The couple then settled into a home on Bryant-Hurst Avenue, just a few blocks west of Crenshaw Boulevard. April continued pursuing her passions of teaching and sprinting, while Michael continued following his passion of acting. In 2005 and in 2006, he landed roles in Fair Game, Bathsheba, Gridiron Gang, and Cold Case.
Been better if you'd ask for a spiritual advisor or a priest.
Priest can't help me now. You can.
How am I going to do that? I'd have to believe you're innocent. I don't.
Any last words, Tibbs?
Last moment. Time for truth, like you said. I'll tell it to you. But all it is what I've been saying all along.
During this time, Michael and April welcomed a baby boy named Nehemiah into the world. In 2007, Michael landed roles in Safe Harbor and Bats, Human Harvest.
I want you to know you did real good down there. But from a command standpoint, we cannot use you. You take risks. Going in without your gun drawn, stupid. There's no need for a lone wolf who pulls his unit into a hot situation. You need to trust the man next to you, exist within the command
structure. Yeah, I hear it every time.
Then write it down, Russo. Write it on your eyelids. You think it's boring hearing this? It is boring saying it.
In 2009, he landed roles in State of Play, Real Heroes Firefighter, and the TV show Southland.
You called me?
That was 4 months ago.
You look good.
What are you doing?
I think I made a mistake. You know, with you, I really do want a kid.
I gotta go inside.
Yeah, I know.
You take care.
During this time, Michael and April welcomed a second baby boy named Caleb into the world. From the outside looking in, it seemed like the Jaces had it all. A loving marriage, beautiful kids, and great careers, but looks can be deceiving. The Jaces were struggling financially. The Shield was over, which left Michael without a steady paycheck, and the roles were now few and far between. In 2010, he landed roles in CSI, Rizzoli and Owls, and Burn Notice, but they still weren't enough to supplement his income. In March of 2011, after nearly 20 years of consistent work and appearing in dozens of TV shows and movies, Michael filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Records showed that he had an income of $71,000 in 2009 and $75,000 in 2010 due to residuals from his TV and movie work, but his income dropped to just $17,000 in 2011. Michael's debts were listed at well over $500,000. He had defaulted on 2 mortgages on the family's home, owed $22,000 in back taxes, and $16,000 in credit card debt. The bankruptcy allowed Michael to lower his monthly payments, but he went delinquent shortly afterwards. In 2011, Michael landed roles in Private Practice, The Mentalist, Nikita, and Division III, football's finest.
Now, if you could just remember that we are a liberal arts college and limit your usage of the F word.
Son, football's an F word.
No, I understand. You want me to censorship myself. All right, you little maggots. If you don't pick up the fucking beep pace, I'm gonna rip off your little peckers and shove them up your mother's hot pockets, you little fucks. Beep, beep. Fuck!
By 2011, April was excelling in track and was a force in the W35 division. W35 is a division for female track and field athletes between the ages of 35 and 40. She was a world championship finalist in the 100-meter dash. She also won a gold medal on the USA 4x100 meter relay team, and she ranked 5th in the United States in the 200-meter dash. In 2012 and in 2013, Michael returned to Southland for 3 additional episodes, but it still wasn't enough to keep the Jaces afloat. In March of 2013, April began working at Biola University as a counselor in the financial aid office and was carrying a bulk of the Jace's financial burden. The fact that the couple was relying on April's income made Michael feel inadequate as a provider, which led to tension within the relationship. On top of that, Michael began suspecting that April had stepped outside of their marriage and was having an affair. April denied all his claims and reassured him that she was faithful, but Michael couldn't shake the feeling that another man was giving her what he couldn't. Also, April was flourishing in track. In 2013, she won the Southern California USA Track and Field 100-meter championship. She also placed second in the W35 Invitational race at the Mount Sac Relays. Many believe that Michael was jealous of April's accomplishments because while she flourished within her passion, he struggled within his. Michael began confiding in a man named Kenneth Brown. Michael and Kenneth knew each other through church and worked together on the Shield. On numerous occasions, Michael asked Kenneth to pray for his marriage. On Sunday, May 18, 2014, April, Savoy, and April's nephew, Christopher, went to the movies. Savoy and Christopher then stayed the night at Michael and April's house. Early the next morning, the two were awakened to Michael yelling at April. They heard him say, "You don't have a godly reason for a divorce." The yelling continued for about 5 minutes. The two then heard 2 crashes coming from the dining room area. Savoy grabbed a baseball bat and he and Christopher walked towards the noise. They saw a vase smashed on the floor, an ironing board knocked over, and Michael and April standing by the dining room table. Michael told Savoy to give him the bat, but Savoy backed away towards the kitchen. April told Christopher to get the bat, and he took it from Savoy. Michael then repeatedly told Savoy that he would never put his hands on his mom. About 15 minutes later, just before 8 a.m., April left the house with Savoy and Christopher to drive Nehemiah and Caleb to school. She then headed to work. Later that day, April texted Kenneth and asked him to check on Michael. Kenneth texted, "When trouble comes, be full of joy," and Michael replied, "May be too late. April wants out and I'm tired of pleading." Kenneth invited Michael over to watch a game that night, but he declined. Michael texted, "She'll accept it or we'll move on. If she isn't who I thought she was according to God, a lot changes, but she'll get what she wants, a way out." Kenneth extended another invite, but Michael declined and texted, "Appreciate it, but shit is going to hell fast and I wouldn't be good company." Kenneth asked Michael if he was staying at the house, and Michael replied that he was leaving that night. Throughout that day, Michael also texted with April. At 10:45 a.m., April texted, "I don't want you throwing things and breaking things and screaming lies to the boys. I'm afraid to come home." Michael texted, "I could vacate the premises for the night. Just give me a time and I'll leave." He told her that his biggest mistake was being involved with a woman who wasn't submitted to God. That afternoon, Michael texted April, "You've thrown me under the bus, April, and you're walking out on the boys." He then accused her of having an affair, which she denied. He then texted, "I'm just amazed at how comfortable a woman of God just walks out of a marriage." April replied, "Stop throwing the Bible at me." At around 4 p.m., April urged Michael to go to Nehemiah's baseball practice. She texted, "He's going to be so sad without you and probably won't even want to play. If it's easier, I won't go. please don't not go because you're upset with me. Please. At 4:54, April asked Michael if he left the house, and he said yes. At 6:45, April texted apologizing for not being the perfect Christian woman that Michael believed he married. Michael told April that he would stand the night at his friend Evan's house. He said he was trying to find the key that Evan hid for him, and he would text her after he got into the house. He then told her that he's been drinking since 10 or maybe 11 that morning. At 7:44, he texted again, reminding April that the boys needed to give the dog food and water before going to school. Michael texted, Evan said hello, not that it really matters. He then texted, the tongue has the power of life and death. At 8:04, April replied, you should go to sleep, we'll talk tomorrow. At 8:12, she texted about Nehemiah's baseball practice, saying that he had fun. At around 8:20, April arrived home with Nehemiah and Caleb under the belief that Michael had gone to Evan's house for the night, but when she walked into the house, Michael was standing in the dining room. April sat down and Caleb climbed onto her lap. Shortly afterwards, Michael told Caleb to go to his room. Michael grabbed April by her arm and pulled her into the hallway. He then pulled out a gun and opened fire, hitting April in her back. She fell to the floor and Michael stood over her and yelled, if you like running, then run to heaven, and opened fire 2 more times, hitting April in her legs. At 8:23, Michael texted April's stepfather, Carlos, come get the boys, I just shot April. Carlos and April's mother, Kay, jumped into their car and sped to the Jace's home. Carlos called 911 and told the operator about the text.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
My son-in-law called me and texted me and said he'd come get the kids because he shot April, our daughter.
Okay, are the police on the line?
Yes.
Okay, sir, are you at that location?
No, we're on the 405 headed there now from Long Beach.
Oh, okay, so you're quite a ways out.
Yeah, we're a ways out yet.
Okay, well, we've got police and paramedics on the way, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Sir, I'm going to stay on the phone with you, okay?
Okay, Godspeed, please.
At 8:31, Michael called 911 himself. He told the operator that there was a shooting and quickly hung up. The operator notified police and paramedics and then called Michael back. He answered and said, I shot my wife. He told the operator that the gun was on the table by the door and he was nowhere near it. Michael said he wanted paramedics because his intent was not to kill her. The operator instructed him to step outside and the call ended when police arrived. At 8:36, an LAPD officer named Joseph Villagran arrived at the Jace's home. He found Michael standing in the doorway talking on the phone. Michael said, I shot around and I don't know what happened. Villagran entered the house and found April lying on her back in the hallway. Moments later, April Jace was pronounced dead. She was 40 years old. Michael was placed under arrest and charged with murder. His bail was set at $2 million. Nehemiah and Caleb were standing in the doorway of their room during the incident and witnessed their mother's murder. They were taken by officers and were forced to spend 4 hours at the police station before being placed in the care of April's parents. Word of the shooting spread quickly and made national news.
The Shield actor Michael Jace has been booked for murder, accused of shooting his wife to death. Jace was handcuffed outside his Los Angeles home early this morning. His wife's body found inside.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Entertainment Tonight. Well, a shocking discovery last night. A former star of The Shield arrested for gunning down his wife.
It is shocking, and it's so sad. This is a storyline you'd find in a crime drama, but this tragedy is all too real.
Yeah, and the horror is too real as well for his 2 children who were actually in the house when their mother was shot multiple times and killed.
What we do know is last night at about 8:30, that he, Michael Jace, called 911 and told the operator his wife had been shot. We know no other details other than that about what he said. We do also know that neighbors, some other neighbors, called 911 after they heard gunfire inside the home.
More details are being revealed in the arrest of actor Michael Jace in the fatal shooting of his wife in their Hyde Park home Monday night. Jace, who played a police officer on the FX series The Shield, was charged in the death of his 40-year-old wife, April. Sources told The Times that Jace confessed to the killing. Neighbor Brandon Cook recalls one of the last times he saw the actor.
I talked to him about a month ago, actually. And he was in there on the computer, say he was trying to, trying to get back in the. It was kind of slow. The acting business was slow. He's trying to find another gig or whatever, and but he didn't seem like anything was wrong at all.
Neighbors say the couple seemed like the perfect family, but some overheard Jace and his wife arguing before the shooting. Shirley Hardeen recounts her experience.
I heard a bang, and I said, that sounded like a gunshot, not knowing really, because I don't hear gunshots.
And so I said, it sounded like a gunshot. Then I heard 2 more times. I heard 3 shots. I said, I think that's gunfire. And I just took off and got in my house.
Now, the family of the victims say they wanted to meet here at their church in Long Beach because this is their other family. As you can imagine, in our exclusive interview with them, it got emotional. Today, as 52-year-old actor Michael Jace faced a judge and entered a plea of not guilty in the murder of his wife, April, the family of the victim spoke exclusively to Eyewitness News. Kay Henry says if God gave her a few seconds to say goodbye to her daughter, she would say this.
I'm doing my best to focus on all the good times and the memories that we had together. Somehow those memories can be reminders of a lifetime on earth here without you, my dear daughter, and it's tough, and I miss you very much.
I just love this kid, and I just miss her so much, but I need a moment.
My baby sister, April Jace, was a beautiful, strong woman. We were all shocked to hear what happened to her. And all of our hearts were ripped out instantly.
We met with April's family at their church in Long Beach. They did not want to talk about the murder case against Jace, best known for playing a police officer on The Shield, nor any claims of domestic violence during Jace's decade-long marriage to their daughter. They did reflect on the call they say they got from Jace. Henry says hearing Jace on the phone that day was painful.
And to say, come get the boys, you know, don't let anybody else get them, just let us get there. My heart right there was just, like John said, just ripped out of my chest.
April's family says they made a pledge to be there for April's 2 young sons. Both boys were home when their mother was murdered.
April, I miss you. I'm going to try to do right with the grandsons, because they're just good boys, and she did well with them, very good with them.
There was an outpouring of love and prayers for April and her family. Biola University released a statement. It read in part, "The Biola University community has received word with deep sadness of the tragic death of one of our employees, April Jace, who had worked as a counselor in the financial aid office since March 2013. The Biola family grieves the loss of a colleague and friend and mourns along with their family." Biola's president, Barry Corey, said, "We are obviously shocked and saddened by this news. To lose a wonderful colleague, mother, and friend. The Biola family will stand with this precious family and the employees who are grieving today, and my prayer is that the God of all comfort will be our refuge and peace." Biola Senior Director of Financial Aid, Jeff Marsh, said, "April's radiant personality brought great energy to the financial aid office. Her love for helping students and families and her great work ethic earned the respect and love of her coworkers. Her smiling face and hopeful spirit will be missed by all." The school also held a memorial service for April, where they shared memories and prayed for her family and friends. The track community also sent their condolences and shared memories of April. Stacy Tallman said, "I remember my first race in Masters, and she was in my heat. She came up to me with her warm smile and welcomed me. It was really sweet of her, and I will never forget that. You could just see how loved she was from everyone that knew her." Marilyn Rose said, "What a loss. Ran with April in the 4x100 in Sacramento, and we won the gold. I remember this race very well, and April was such a gracious lady and athlete. I'm really sad that the Masters track scene lost such a talent and soul. I will treasure this title forever and will be even prouder to have been on your team to win it. May you run fast in heaven." Derek Pye said, "I think everyone is just stunned that this could actually happen to someone so nice. She was always so welcoming and friendly and happy. It's just shocking. Our Masters track family has lost an angel. Pray for her family and especially her boys." Mark Cleary said, "This is such shocking news. She was such a nice person and wonderfully talented athlete. She was at all the Southern California meets. She was a standout in every way. We will miss her. What a heartbreak for all that knew her. Prayers for her boys, family, and close friends." The next day at the police station, investigators interviewed Michael. He told them that he had gotten upset with the text he and April exchanged throughout the day. He thought they turned a corner financially, but April wasn't willing to work it out. He said that he was in so much pain and he just wanted her to feel some pain. When asked about what led to the shooting, Michael said he had been drinking and was holding the gun when April came home with the boys. He said the gun had belonged to April's father and was already loaded. When detectives asked Michael to walk them through the night's events, he tried to paint himself as the victim. Michael said he and April sat down at the dining room table and sent the boys to their room, and then out of nowhere, April lunged at him. He said there was a knife, but he didn't remember if it was on the table, and he wasn't sure if she had anything in her hands. He claimed that he pushed April away, and as he was pushing her, he fired the first shot. He didn't know where she was hit, but she fell to the floor, and he shot her in the legs. He told investigators that he only intended to shoot her in the leg, and that he didn't mean to kill her. Michael said he and April were happy, except for the financial issues. Investigators didn't find a knife at the scene and believed that Michael was lying in hopes of creating a case for self-defense. A few days later, Michael called April's brother Carlo from jail. He said the shooting was an accident and the gun had been for himself, not April. He said that he was in so much pain and he wanted her to be in pain. Michael said he wanted her to lose something that she loved, which was her ability to run. During this time, court documents from Michael and Jennifer's divorce and custody battle surfaced. In the documents, Jennifer alleged that Michael was verbally and physically abusive towards her and Jordan. She said that he threatened to kill her if they went to war over his visitation rights. Jennifer's friend, Maria, said she witnessed Michael choke Jennifer and slam her head into a wall while Jordan cried in his crib next to them. She went on to say that she saw Michael become violent on several different occasions. In Michael's filing, he said that he and Jennifer were both guilty of overstepping physical boundaries. Jennifer said Michael harassed her through phone calls and emails, and Jordan cried every time he visited Michael. April defended Michael during the court battle. She told the judge that Michael provided a stable home for his child. She went on to call Jennifer a bad mother. She said anytime Jordan stayed the night at their house, he prayed for Jennifer before bedtime and asked God to protect her while he wasn't there with her. April never addressed any of the abuse claims. The trial began on Monday, May 23, 2016. The trial focused on whether the shooting was premeditated, which would be first-degree murder, or a crime of passion, which would be voluntary manslaughter. The prosecutor was a woman named Tanez Makayev. Makayev told the court that April's murder was premeditated. She pointed out how Michael told April that he was going to Evan's house for the night, but in reality, he armed himself, waited for her to get home, and shot her 3 times, which showed that the shooting was planned. The defense attorney was a man named Jamon Hicks. Hicks told the court that the shooting was a crime of passion. He went on to say that the Jace's marriage was on the rocks and Michael and April had been arguing all day. Hicks said Michael lost his mind after April said she wanted a divorce. The thought of losing his wife and kids put him in a terrible headspace and left him unable to control his actions. Hicks said Michael had no history of abuse towards April and the cops had never been called to the home even after years of marriage issues, which meant that Michael was usually reasonable, but the events of the day pushed him over the edge. Makayev told the court that Michael had a history of domestic abuse and presented Jennifer's claims as proof. She detailed how Michael choked her and then slammed her head into a wall, all while their son cried in his crib next to them. Hicks told the court that the allegations of abuse were made during the couple's divorce and custody battle, which are times ex-couples tend to mudsling in order to make each other look bad in front of the judge. He went on to say that there are no police reports regarding the abuse and the claims have never been substantiated. The prosecution and defense also had 2 different perceptions of Michael and April's text messages. Makayev said the text showed that Michael was argumentative, controlling, and jealous. She pointed out how April texted that she was afraid to come home, and how Michael constantly belittled her and accused her of having an affair. Hicks said the text showed that Michael was in distress and really worried about losing his family. He said the texts were those of a broken man that was desperately trying to save his marriage. Makayev called numerous witnesses to the stand. Christopher told the court about the night he and Savoy stayed over and heard the couple arguing in the dining room. Carlo took the stand and told the court about Michael's call from jail and how he admitted to wanting to hurt April. A recording of the call was also played for the jury. The most heartbreaking witness testimony came from Nehemiah. He was 10 years old at the time of the trial and took the stand alongside of a support person. Nehemiah was forced to recount the events of that tragic night. He told the court that he witnessed his father grab his mother and pull her into the hallway. He recalled watching his mother fall to the floor and his father stand over her and yell, "If you like running, then run to heaven," and open fire. Hicks closed by saying that the shooting was a crime of passion. He said that Michael wasn't a violent man, but in the heat of the moment, he lost himself. Makayev closed by saying that the shooting was premeditated. She said Michael lying about leaving the house was a choice, him grabbing the gun was a choice, and every single time he fired the gun was a choice. On Tuesday, May 31st, 2016, the verdict was in. Michael was found guilty of second-degree murder for the death of April Jace, as well as gun charges.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Michael Andrew Jace, guilty of the crime of murder of April Jace in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony, as charged in Count 1 of the information. We further find the murder was in the second degree.
Second-degree murder implies that there was a lower level of intent or premeditation involved in the murder. April's family and the prosecution were satisfied with the verdict. Although it wasn't the first-degree murder conviction they hoped for, April's death was still proven to be a murder. Michael's sentencing was held on Friday, June 10, 2016. Before handing down the sentence, the judge, Robert J. Perry, allowed Michael to say a few words. Michael apologized to April's family, but he spent the majority of his allotted time downplaying his actions and saying that he didn't mean to kill April. During his statements, numerous members of April's family stormed out of the courtroom.
I didn't commit first-degree murder. There was no premeditated anything. I realize it does not bring her back, and it doesn't help. But it would seem to me to matter that the facts of what happened be thought about and be dealt with in a forthright manner, so that the people who did love April
After tensions calmed and Judge Perry restored order to the courtroom, the sentencing commenced. Michael Jace was sentenced to 40 years to life in prison. April's memory lives on through her family, friends, and many accomplishments. Everyone that knew her says she was a wonderful person with a great smile and infectious energy. She's remembered as a beautiful soul that was taken too soon. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe.